听力训练也是一种修行。接下来的练习，你只可以看到单词和短句的提示，你必须用自己的耳朵听明白整段话的意思。如果没有听懂，你可以反复多听几遍。下面我们开始吧。
Well, in just a matter of hours, the world will be ringing in a brand new year, and what better time to start planning your financial future? What are the top financial resolutions you should be setting for yourself in 2026? Here to share some useful tips is Peter Sashecki from Everything Financial. Hi, Peter. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Happy New Year. A few hours in advance.
Yes, absolutely. Just a few hours until 2026. Hard to believe. How important is it for people to set New Year's financial resolutions that will actually stick?
Well, make them simple to follow because we all know New Year's resolutions in general are gone by about the 7th or 8th. So try and do things realistically that you can achieve and you can measure by their success or by their completion.
Aha, okay, got a little checklist here. Starting with the will. A lot of people don't have one. What do people need to know about planning and updating their will?
Yeah, single people think they don't even need a will. Get a will. It's not that difficult to do. Call a local notary if you need to, and just to make sure your affairs in order, and to make things easier too for those people afterwards, spouse, partner, parents, friends, whatever the case may be. But it's not that difficult. It's not that expensive, and don't go do it yourself off the internet. You actually want to get a legal will done, but make that the number one priority. And if you haven't done one in 5 years, take it to someone and at least let them look at it to see if it's up to date.
Yeah, make sure it's up to date. Okay, good. All right, the 2025 RRSP contribution deadline is March 2nd. So what do people have to know about RRSP contributions? And is it for everyone?
No, it's not for everyone. If you're in one of the lowest tax brackets, then like under $50,000, RSPs are just a waste. The idea with an RSP is supposed to be tax deferral, but if you're deferring in the lowest tax bracket, what are you deferring to? The other lowest tax bracket. So if that income is getting up there in the $90,000 and $100,000 area, start to look at your income for the year, your financial plan, and what you did like at the beginning. As soon as you get your last pay stub, start to work out the plan, but don't chase an RSP refund. Refunds does not mean smart tax planning. Refunds means you left too much money with the government and they're not really doing anything for you. If you can look at breaking even, plus or minus $1, that's the perfect tax planning. So don't get caught into the RSP chase.
Okay, good tip there. Okay, so another financial resolution for 2026 is to make the best of our mortgage. How do we go about doing that?
Yeah, looking at if you have equity in your home and you're in, again, we're talking about those tax brackets like the RSP idea, look at starting to make some of your mortgage tax deductible. If you can get passive tax deduction, in other words, you're paying the mortgage anyways. So if you can put yourself in a situation where you start to write off the interest, that will work for you. It means less planning down the road, less RSPs, etc. You're creating an automatic tax deduction. And if you do it right, and it's not that hard to do, the government and CRA are helping you pay down your mortgage.
Well, there you go. And finally, Peter, what is one common misconception about financial planning?
People think they have to have some enormous amount of money, be closer to retirement to do financial planning. Start the financial planning when you're in your 20s and you've got your first real good stable job. Financial planning is not all about retirement. To the contrary, financial planning is about what am I planning on doing in the next 2 years? And again, don't get caught in the idea of if I don't have enough money. You can start saving with a portfolio manager with as little as $100. Like, don't just think it's not for you because you don't have enough money. It's for everybody.
Yeah, and then you'll have more money in 2026 to spend. Peter Sashecki with Everything
I can't believe you're saying 2026.
I know, the year has flown by. So, Happy New Year, Peter.
Well, Happy New Year, and we'll see you next year.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
Canada's once ambitious immigration targets have led to a hard landing.
We're reducing the numbers of immigrants that will come to Canada for the next 3 years.
Did we take too long to adjust? I think there's some responsibility there.
The government eventually reworked its plans to decrease its target to 395,000 permanent residents this year, while lowering that number even more over the next 2 years. The About Face set in motion a seismic shift in Canada's immigration policy that has played out over the last 12 months.
We've got this huge influx of people on Canadian soil expecting permanent residence who won't get it.
A cap on international student permits that began in 2024 and into 2025 will see a further reduction in 2026. As Frost Weeks rolled onto campus this year, international students were taking note.
A lot of international students dream of studying abroad. I have a sister, she might be wanting to study abroad, and caps like this are affecting her.
Ottawa put a limit on foreign students in part to help ease the pressure on the cost of rental housing while trying to reduce the burden on hospitals and other public infrastructure and social services. Citizenship Canada says its aim is also to create a pipeline of international student graduates whose skills match the country's long-term economic and labor needs. Adding eligible fields include healthcare, social services, education, and the trades. In his first news conference in May following the federal election, newly minted Prime Minister Mark Carney pulled in the reins on immigration even tighter.
We will return our immigration to sustainable levels by capping the total number of temporary workers.
没有听明白的朋友可以反复多听几遍。如果有需要这一段英文文字的内容，可以在评论区留言。在点点滴滴中提升自己的英文听力。英语听力练习是一场修行。那么今天视频的内容就到这里了，我们下期见。